I learned that no one really, and that, it's just an experience in the physical form, and we're attached to our personalities, but that we're just souls, and that we continue and continue and continue. And if you have a spiritual relationship with someone on earth, you will have one with them when you leave earth.
Lauren introduced me to Puff.
Oh, got you.
I mean, I knew Puff, but it was more of a personal relationship after, we was at Cassie's birthday, something like that.
And then on his last album, people do not know this. Somebody tried to jerk me, but I fixed it. I actually am one of the executive producers of Nipsey Hussle's last album.
Victory Lap.
Yeah, Victory Lap. So a lot of people don't know this. We got them to change it in Wikipedia. Somebody over at the label tried to leave my name out, but he came to me and said, I want you to be a part of helping me finish up this album. And so I was a part of not just the records I was on with him on his last album. He was like, yo, I'm a big fan of like Life After Death. You know what I'm saying? And I know you got like that vibe, but I'm bringing like that vibe. Like my stuff, it has a West Coast sound, but it also has a bad boy sound. So I felt like, yo, I really need you to come and help me out with this. So that's why I have so much footage of us in the studio, because like the last 5 days of him finishing the album, he came to me and said, would you come on as one of the executive producers?
What if I told you the story behind Nipsey Hussle's death isn't what you think it is? What if the people closest to him may have played a bigger role than we ever imagined? The streets are talking again, and this time the whispers are louder than ever. New rumors are pointing fingers at some of the biggest names in the game: Diddy, Lauren London, and even 50 Cent. And just when you thought this couldn't get any deeper, court developments have now thrown Lauren London's name into the mix. Let's just say, the internet is not staying quiet about it. Today, we're diving into one of the most shocking and controversial conspiracy theories spreading through Hollywood and the hip-hop world. From leaked tapes and secret meetings to unexpected celebrity connections, this story has everything. So buckle up, because we're peeling back the layers of a mystery that still haunts fans to this day. Was Nipsey Hussle set up by the very people he trusted most? It all started with some mysterious tapes. According to industry insiders, a set of videos has started circulating through Hollywood. These aren't your regular party clips. People are claiming these tapes show private gatherings involving high-profile celebrities, gatherings where not everyone knew they were being filmed. And now, rumor has it that these tapes might be connected to Diddy's legal troubles, as investigators dig through every detail of his empire.
Only part of the time, her voice was cracking. I wanted someone to know where I was. So Lauren London now is coming back into this. And she was on the phone during all of it, or part of it. Whoa. What did you tell her? I'm scared of mountain lions. Mountain lions? I don't know if you know the Hollywood Hills Coyotes. Maybe Lauren was on the phone. Maybe. It's such a long time ago. Are you aware that Lauren and Mr. Combs were friends for years after this? Yes. Then you see the Porsche coming up the hill? Yes. Cuddy is in the black Porsche. He stops next to us, then speeds off. We chase him. Then he loses us. We turn away. Then we see police pass us. You go to pick up Cassie and go where? Cuddy's house. There was ADT there. Then you go to Mr. Combs' house and you say you see Mr. Combs kicking Cassie there, even in the street? Yes. You hung up on the fire inspector. I did. When you were on vacation, it was with who? Rihanna. After you were fired, what job did you get? I was hired by Chris Lightly to work for 50 Cent.
But here's the twist. 50 Cent, who's never been shy about calling people out, allegedly played a part in bringing these tapes to light. Some online voices claim he's been feeding this content to the public, knowing it could flip everything upside down. And in the middle of this chaos, Lauren London. Her name is reportedly all over these tapes, raising questions nobody saw coming. Let's rewind a bit. Most people remember Lauren London as the heartbroken partner of Nipsey Hussle, but what many don't know is her long-standing connection to Diddy. According to multiple reports, Lauren has been close with Diddy for years. They were seen together at events, posed in photos, and even shared emotional moments in public. After Nipsey's tragic death in 2019, Lauren told the world that Diddy was one of the people who helped her cope with her loss. He reportedly told her, "Now show them what it looks like when it all crumbles." Some fans took that statement as comforting. Others raised an eyebrow. Why would Diddy say something like that?
And as far as her being in the freak-offs, there was rumors that her and Diddy was a thing back in 2020. If you remember, she made a post saying, stop putting my name in that. I belong to Nip. It was like around 2020, the rumors was floating that her and Diddy was a thing. So now they pulling up pictures of Diddy in the background looking at her like all type of crazy. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it's Diddy. It wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, but
I'm not gonna put that on her because I didn't see.
But even then, they it was known they had a history, and that's why he came out even in the interviews. It don't mean they had to have that type of history, but that's how Diddy got on Nipsey's album in the first place, because of Lauren London. He's expressed all of that. So to insinuate, and there's so many people probably done been in them Diddy freak offs. That don't mean everybody was as foul as he was.
And let's be honest, you could have went to the freak off and just been bad bitches. Not everybody that went to them parties did some weird. Not everybody did some.
I don't believe that.
Not everybody was diving in baby oil. Because if you would have invited me to the freak offs, bad bitches in there. I'm trying to hit every single one.
And
but that back room with the baby oil, I'm cool.
He not watching. It's a big ass party. He ain't watching every in the damn party. This nigga is crazy.
Room to room with the
no, that's his thing though.
Ciroc bottle.
That's his thing. That's his thing. Whatever he doing with whoever he using. If it's a big ass party with 1,000 rooms in his, I'm not finna be in there or doing all that because, like you just said, there's a million bitches in here. What the fuck I gotta be worried about that for?
Everybody wanted to go.
And it's crazy. What's even more crazy, Bow Wow done came out and talked about how he missed the Diddy parties. Ain't got nothing to say about cuz. Like, he openly spoke like week out here, nigga, without Diddy parties.
Diddy parties are not the freak off.
No, nigga, a Diddy party is the freak off. Nigga, we know what the fuck going on. What the fuck is you talking about,
listen,
nigga? Yes, nigga. That's
I'll
the
feel
Diddy
uncomfortable being butt naked in front of any who rubbed male semen on
you just learned all this information.
Man, I'm not believing Diddy did that. I'm not believing that.
That's crazy.
I ain't believing he did that.
That's questionable about is this Nipsey Hussle video.
What about
I don't buy it.
Oh, you know, I got a little thing I do. I just tell you put some money up.
How much money you want me to put up?
Whatever you want to put up. How many you want to see is like about 15 different text messages, probably like 10, 12 videos. How many of them you want to see?
I mean, I got 5 on it.
5 what?
5 bands.
Per video?
Nah, hell no. I want to see if there's any truth to it. You believe it?
That ain't no question me trying to talk about nobody.
No, I done repeated it, so obviously I believe it.
So
nigga,
listen,
I done went and repeated it, so obviously I
so
believe
here go
it.
the thing, right? This is real. Sometimes you gotta dissect certain things, right?
Yeah.
Now, let me ask you a question. I told you who the players were in the video, right? I said it's a dude from Louisiana, Nip, and his baby mama, right? You think after all these years, the baby mama wouldn't have stood up and said something if I was...
I don't know.
Come on, bro.
So when he said it, I said some about the character, trying to explain some, and my life been threatened.
What you mean? What you mean?
You know when I said Nip, but not Earmus. So I explained that, and my life was threatened. When this came out and said that, I sat back and said, man, they finna kill that. If he lying, they finna do something to that.
So let me ask you a question.
And ain't nobody done
What's
nothing.
your issue with... Look, I don't got it. That's his preference. Diddy up there wilding.
Yeah.
He finna let people know he was hitting Nip baby mama. You see it's coming out. Because you know Cassie and her was best friends. So when a playing like the way Diddy playing, this is real. My woman right there. My woman's right there.
Did everybody in the industry that we like.
If I tell my woman...
That I don't disagree with.
Listen,
Listen, come on,
you think if Diddy told Cassie, make that happen with Laura, it wasn't gonna happen? You heard Nip?
I think they have incredible power. I would doubt nothing that comes out of that camp over there. I doubt
Okay,
nothing.
so that's what I'm saying.
We learn more shit than we ever needed to know.
But my question to you is, because outside of his preference, because Nip dropped his album 2019, right?
Yeah.
No, 2018. Yeah. 2019, right? So that first year, album did 50, 60,000 copies, okay? Even when he got, it still took another year after the death for it to reach platinum. If the boom, the persona that we saw from the world was real, it wasn't just no BS, that thing would have been platinum overnight.
So when I go to the funeral, I'm sitting and I'm listening because I'm here to find out who is this Nip guy. So I don't hear nobody really say Nipsey. I hear Earmiss. So when Lauren London's son got up there and said, last night, Earmiss came to me in a dream and he was in heaven. And he said, what's up, killer? So when this kid gave this detailed description of Earmiss, homie, it blew my mind. I put the blunt out and
he was the father.
I started paying attention. So then Lauren London spoke about him. So I said, nah, homie, Nipsey was a character like the WWE. This guy was intelligent, and then I got to talk to Big Syke after the funeral. Big Syke gave me a ride back to the house. Big Syke said Nip came up to him when he was about 11 years old and said, big homie, why you gangbang? And he said, I gangbang because I was born to. He said Nip told him at 11, he don't have the name Nip yet, big homie, when I grow up, I'm gonna change the hood. Kid grew up to change the hood. So I fell in love with Earmiss.
Yeah, okay, I get it.
So that's so I'm painting a picture. These rappers ain't who we think they are.
Yeah.
If I'm looking from afar, I'm thinking Nip is a hardcore neighborhood roller, but nigga, this was a compassionate guy.
Even more suspicious to some fans is the fact that Lauren reportedly introduced Nipsey to Diddy in the first place. And guess what happened after that? Diddy became the executive producer on Nipsey's critically acclaimed album Victory Lap. Some now wonder if that was all a coincidence or something more strategic. Here's where things get murkier. A growing theory online suggests that Lauren may have unknowingly or possibly knowingly been acting as an inside player for Diddy. Some believe her connection to both men gave her influence over Nipsey's moves. Could this have been a way to monitor him, to keep tabs on what he was planning? Fans are questioning everything now. The theory claims that as Nipsey grew more independent and powerful, he became a problem for those at the top. He wasn't playing by the industry's unspoken rules. He was building a legacy outside the system, one that empowered his community. And in doing that, he might have stepped on the wrong toes. People are now asking, was someone trying to keep him under control by getting close to him through someone he trusted?
He said, I wanted that same feel as life after death. That same feel was that Biggie got, and he went on to sell about 10 million albums, or 10 million copies. I was saying, you gotta watch what you say to demons, because it just might come true. You just gotta watch what you say, brother, because God said that you say it by mouth, you believe it in thy heart, and it shall happen. And when you got a strong spirit, and you that type of person, you gotta watch what you say out your mouth, man.
Do you think it was a good idea for Nipsey to be cool with Diddy?
I really can't speak on what and the reason why that man would, when he was already doing a great job himself with the team that he had. But somebody convinced him that that would be a good look for him. But no disrespect, he got what he asked for.
Now let's talk about what happened on March 31st, 2019. Nipsey Hussle was fatally shot outside his Marathon clothing store in Los Angeles. The man convicted of the crime, Eric Holder, was sentenced to 60 years to life in prison. But street rumors have always suggested there's more to the story. That Holder wasn't acting alone. That someone with more influence might have played puppet master from behind the scenes.
Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti has confirmed Grammy-nominated rapper Nipsey Hussle was in a shooting outside his clothing store in Los Angeles. Investigators say yesterday afternoon the rapper was shot multiple times in the parking lot at Marathon Clothing. It's a store he opened in 2017. 2 other men were also shot. They ended up surviving. Police are still searching for the gunman.
That suspect is not in custody, and currently we're going to start canvassing the area, talk to any witnesses, and also we're going to canvass all the local area for any videos that may be surfaced.
That woman is lying through her teeth. She's the getaway driver in of Nipsey Hussle. The only reason why she turned herself in 2 days later, because her face and his face was plastered all over social media.
How do you not know? When the alley we standing in right now is this close, y'all, come on. How could you not hear the shots? It's unacceptable.
I have a bullet in my back, and a fragment of it is broke off, is near my spine. And they said, well, if we would take it out, it's a possibility you could be paralyzed.
56-year-old Carrie Lathan was shot last month while talking to rapper Nipsey Hussle in front of Nipsey's Marathon clothing store in South LA. Lathan says he was there to pick up a t-shirt and Nipsey happened to be there.
He told me that he would have the shirt that I needed next week. And I said, okay, and as I turned, it was all bad.
Lathan has been on parole the past 7 months after spending 25 years in prison for. He was arrested after the shooting for breaking parole, hanging out with known gang member Nipsey Hussle, but then was released because he says he didn't know Nipsey was in a gang.
I had no idea of any of that. I know they said he was a Rolling 60, but that's not what he is now. Today, he's a celebrity. I took a picture with a celebrity. I met him once, took a selfie.
Now Lathan claims since his release, the parole board left him without proper housing and medical treatment and fears the DA could still come after him.
With Diddy now facing serious federal charges, some are revisiting these theories and seeing patterns. Could Nipsey have been targeted because he refused to bend to the will of industry powerhouses? Was there a larger plan to take him out before he became unstoppable? These are the questions fans are debating. And now with Lauren's name popping up in Diddy's case, things are getting more intense.
Let's not forget, homie, they Nipsey Hussle. Eric Holder was not a lone actor in that. If you go back and follow the detail, Nip and Big U got into it. Big U hit Nip Daddy across the head with a bat. His brother had to come out and shoot the gun. Hey, y'all get out. Say, Nip, come on, we finna come beat you. Because I don't want to pay that $20,000. You say it's over this equipment, but the white folks is pulling me away from the set. I met a Jewish white boy on the front row at the Los Angeles Lakers ball game. Me and this white boy getting drunk, we started talking business idea. This white boy see I'm a sharp nigga. This white boy pulled me into business venture, the vector sector, right? So now I'm being expanded, but now they pulling me away from the set. The set have made it known nobody's bigger than the program. Nip had gotten bigger than the program. Quando is a reminder that nobody's bigger than the program. But Nip had gotten bigger than the set. Well, what do you mean by that, Charleston? Think about when Big U and all the other big homies and the OGs in the hood, they standing in front of Nip shit. They standing on the street corner. When Nip pull up in that platinum Jaguar, he pull up in that motherfucking platinum Jaguar, nigga, them fresh ass Puma with all them goddamn chains on, and then he opened up the door. He got a Hollywood bitch coming up out of there, London Lauren, one of the baddest Hollywood bitches we done seen. When the little homies see Nip pull up, do you think they gonna stay here and talk to the big homies, Big U and them? They gonna make an about face and say, y'all, there go Nip, and they gonna run away from the big homies. As all the excitement going to Nip, all the brawls, everybody, the store, what you think the big homie sitting back saying? Now Nip is growing. Nip that Monday had a meeting with the LA County, with the LA Police Departments on gang intervention program before he come up dead. So now Nip and Big U done fell out over $20,000 worth of equipment, so they say. But it's really over $20,000 extortion fee to pay for protection. Yeah, Nip was being extorted too. He had to pay for protection. That's why they got that video of him that Wack 100 say they got of him. Why would they let Wack even make that statement? So peep game. So you think them things saying, man, that woo woo woo, and his brother go shoot at us? That nigga brother pull a gun out on Big U. His brother you don't pull no gun out on no. Every street, you know, I don't give a damn where you shot that gun at. You pulled it out on me, nigga. And Big Black Sam ain't never been down with the set. Black Sam have always tried to pull them out of Nip's business and get him away from the set. But you can't do that, cuz. Quando Rondo is a baby, my. That nigga's a kid. That's why he cried at that scene like that. If I'm in the gang, homie, and I'm in the set, and I see one of the homies break down like that, homie, nah, homie, y'all give him a pass.
As Diddy's trial heats up, more and more names are being dragged into the courtroom. Celebrities like Kanye West, Usher, and even Britney Spears have been mentioned, not because they did anything wrong, but because they're connected to Diddy's circle. One name that caught everyone off guard was Lauren London. When jury selection began, a list of names was given to potential jurors to check for bias. Lauren's name was on that list. That doesn't mean she's a suspect or that she'll even be called to testify. But the fact that her name is officially tied to the case has sent fans into a frenzy. People want to know, what does she have to do with all of this? It didn't take long for fans to start connecting the dots. Some say Lauren's grief after Nipsey's death seemed too polished, too media ready. Others say her interviews and tributes feel like performances. Of course, grief looks different for everyone, and Lauren has spoken passionately about her love for Nipsey over the years. She shared heartfelt posts and continues to honor his legacy. But in the world of conspiracy theories, nothing is off limits. People are digging through old interviews, old photos, and even public records to find clues. The fact that Lauren once attended a seminar on death long before Nipsey passed away has become another point of suspicion. Some now call it eerie, almost like she was preparing for what was coming. Let's not forget the voices who've been warning us for years. Jaguar Wright and Gene Deal. These two have been outspoken about the dark side of the entertainment industry. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, has echoed similar warnings.
Uptown Records started with 5 people. Andre Harrell, Heavy D, and Puffy. And Kim was the longest working employee because she was there from the very beginning. She was Andre's personal assistant. Kim's dead. Heavy D is dead. Andre Harrell is dead. The only two left are Puffy and Al almost. Isn't that interesting?
That is interesting.
Heavy D was found dead, face down in the heart attack. Andre Harrell, heart attack. Kim from pneumonia, but there's the first coroner's report that said that it was ruled a homicide, and they found toxins in her body to prove that she had been poisoned. You know, they have poisons that create heart attack and pneumonia-like symptoms. And then right after that, Al had a meeting, and I was gonna meet up with him because we were in Vegas, and then the next thing you know, you wanna know what they all had in common though? The survivors and the late of Uptown Records, they were all writing tell-all books. Andre was writing a book right before Heavy D was working on a book before Kim Porter was working on a book before she, and Al B. Sure was working on the documentary of his life. And then he goes into a coma. Has Puffy ever been in a coma? Has anything happened to him? He must be the luckiest, because it seems like everybody that worked at Uptown Records from the very beginning. Come on. Just him. I guess Al disappointed.
Now you're gonna have guys coming out against Cassie talking about she shouldn't have done that. She should hurry up and did that. Man, you can't say that about a victim. This is what me about these guys. These guys get these platforms and they want to talk about you know, guys like me in the background that who saw everything, and I didn't see that, because I wouldn't have played that. And people could say what they want to say, yo, Diddy would have did this, Diddy would have did that. Nah, he wouldn't have done that. You know what I'm saying? Because I think I told you this before. When he cursed his mother, I said to him, man, if you curse your mother again, I'm gonna beat the shit out you. He said, well, no, Gene, she always in my business. I said, if it wasn't for her, you wouldn't have no business. I'm saying that to say this to the women out there. If a man disrespect his mother, you just like an ice cube. You ain't got a chance in hell. Do you understand? That man disrespected his mother. What do we care about these chicks out here, these women out here like that?
Now, Fifth, when you these tapes are reportedly surfacing, everything they said is being taken more seriously. Could this be the moment where the secrets finally come out? And if 50 Cent really is behind the leaks, is he doing it for revenge or to expose something bigger? At this point, it's about more than just Diddy, Lauren, or even Nipsey. It's about how powerful figures in the industry operate behind closed doors, how friendships can be used as weapons, how fame, money, and influence can become tools for manipulation. Whether or not the theories are true, they've sparked a much-needed conversation about accountability in the music world. People are waking up. They're starting to ask hard questions. Why do certain artists rise while others get buried? Why are so many promising stars taken from us too soon? And who's really pulling the strings? What makes this entire theory about Lauren London even more chilling is that it fits a disturbing pattern that people say has followed Diddy for years. She wouldn't be the first person pulled into something they didn't fully understand, or maybe couldn't escape. Time and time again, we've seen artists and industry insiders speak out about how Diddy allegedly manipulates the people around him, using money, loyalty, and even fear to keep them close and compliant. Look at what former bad boy artists have said. Aubrey O'Day from Danity Kane accused Diddy of creating toxic, manipulative environments behind the scenes, where he controlled every move they made and left them emotionally broken. Then there's Cassie, who filed a lawsuit claiming years of abuse and manipulation while being Diddy's partner. That case ended quickly with a confidential settlement, but the allegations alone were shocking and painted a dark picture of the power dynamics in Diddy's world.
I saw all the headlines about Diddy's being benevolent and giving all of his blessed artists their publishing back, because it's, you know, notoriously known throughout time that he screws his artists over, allegedly. So when that came to me, and then my attorney confirmed, it's not really him, it's Sony, and now they own your catalog, and now they are giving you the rights to whatever it's made in this small period of time. And in the streaming age, when you have to stream something 1 million times to make a cent, what good does that even do me, right? And then it came along with a silencer, basically, in so many words. It came along with a very long, drawn out, you can never speak of all of these things and people ever again. And these people, the people that they've ever worked with, and anyone that they've ever worked with, who's worked with. I mean, it went on for generations. It basically would cover everyone in the music industry.
Right.
So I knew at that point, he's not being benevolent. He's covering his ass for something. And that's when I wrote my band and I told them, please do not sign this. Something bad is gonna happen. Or the only other thought I had was he's promoting an album. The thought that I didn't have at the time that I kind of have now is, was the album also an additional distraction? But the part about getting, being the benevolent soul that was giving us our publishing back, when I realized that that wasn't actually real, we weren't really getting our rightful dues given back to us. I would just like to be paid for my work. I'm not asking for anything else.
And it doesn't stop there. Jaguar Wright has named multiple men, famous rappers, singers, even executives, who were allegedly involved in things most people wouldn't believe. Private parties with hidden cameras, compromising situations that were allegedly used as blackmail. These aren't just rumors anymore. These are testimonies coming from people who were in the room or close to those who were.
Maybe maybe Jaguar need money, but I don't think Shawty been in the game too long to be able to speak on things that she haven't been in the game long enough to speak on.
It seems she knew like everything about Diddy.
No, it just sounds like she knew it. Okay. The only person I would consider knowing it is most likely Chop, but definitely Gene.
Oh yeah, Gene was there.
Let me ask you about Gene. What do you feel he got right when he speaks on it, and what do you feel he got wrong? Like
100% everything right.
Gene speaks, he's speaking from...
Yes, all facts. Yeah. You tried that one, but I gave it straight to you.
Yeah, man, because we had Gene here, and he spoke
and that's my dog.
Yeah, he spoke on before Puffy, during Puffy, and after Puffy.
Real.
And he had to say, man, I was during Puffy during this time. Okay.
Killed you, didn't I?
Yeah. 100%. Nah, I'm gonna go back and watch some now.
Sure.
I'm sure some people gonna go back and watch some stuff.
The one he just recently did. Check. Oh,
yeah,
damn, my phone did.
Shout out Art of Dialogue for keeping Gene's stories up in the forefront.
No need to. It was gonna go out the way it was gonna go out anyway, because Gene don't lie. It'd be a different ball game, yeah, if Gene was exaggerating like Jaguar, right? But he's not. But I'm gonna show you what he said about me today on Art of Dialogue, and I got Art of Dialogue on the 28th. But he gonna always keep it real. And one thing, Gene, they asked about me today.
Even Usher, who once lived in Diddy's house as a teenager, has spoken vaguely about his experiences during those years. Stories that have since resurfaced with a lot more meaning given the current investigations. And let's not forget Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, who has claimed that many of these events were strategically orchestrated to control people, damage reputations, or keep folks in line.
I know, and people know, that was around in that time that Puff and Usher did have a situation. And that situation led Usher to the hospital. Now I let Usher explain that to y'all. I let Usher tell that story. But how dare you say a man that groomed you, you gonna give him a pass? Bruh, you know I know. Let me reframe you on something. Remember Usher? We was at the Swiss Hotel. Puff had Kim in the room. Had one of Keith Sweat's baby mothers in the big room outside the master bedroom. He came outside in his robe. She gave him a fellatio right there. His back was turned to me. She gave him a fellatio. You knocked on the door. I came and opened the door for you. Puff went in the room. You came in the room and kissed that girl dead in her mouth. Now I'm telling that because you taking up for somebody that you know and a lot of more people know didn't do you right when you was at Diddy camp. Y'all put it together.
When you look at all of this, Cassie, Usher, Jaguar Wright, and now Lauren London, it starts to feel less like isolated stories and more like a system. A blueprint that Diddy allegedly used again and again. If Lauren really was caught up in that web, she wouldn't be the first. And if she knew what was going on, but couldn't walk away, that's a tragedy too. At the end of the day, we may never know the full truth about what happened to Nipsey Hussle. But what we do know is that the questions keep piling up. And as more names are dragged into the spotlight, like Lauren London, the puzzle only gets more complicated. Maybe the tapes will reveal something, maybe they won't. But the fact that people are still talking about Nipsey's legacy means something. He wasn't just a rapper, he was a builder, a leader, and maybe that's why some people wanted to silence him. So now we want to hear from you. Do you believe Lauren London's name coming up in Diddy's trial is just a coincidence? Or is there more to this story than meets the eye? Was 50 Cent trying to protect the truth or stir the pot? Let us know what you think in the comments below. If you like this video, hit that subscribe button so that you never miss out on any new videos. And until then, fam, keep it real.